Far-left Democrats accused of hypocrisy again. Squad member Cori Bush defends calling to defund the police while having her own private security.
I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets because we're trying to save lives.
Brian, this was not a Saturday Night Live clip. This was not an attempt at satire. That was literally a lawmaker in one breath saying, I'm going to buy private security but defund police so you're not secure in your neighborhoods. This is amazing.
Right. I have to got this clip. It's on FoxNews.com because when CBS Morning Show was on, I had something else to do. I'll get into that later. But she actually said that and she got a pass on it. There was no follow-up. So it's okay to her spend $200,000 on her own security, but we have to defund the police, which, by the way, every time they say that, Joe Biden loses another year of his life or passes out, because for Democrats, that is toxic. That's their kryptonite. Defund the police gets them run right out of the House and the Senate. She continues to say it and doesn't see the hypocrisy in doing it. And keep in mind, too, about Cori Bush. She is steering the left right now, and the left has the loudest voice in the Democratic Party. For Republicans, they have to love when she speaks because she turns off independents and those in the middle on both sides.
Right. And of course, no follow-up question. We have another soundbite of Cori Bush. Let's take a listen.
I have private security because my body is worth being on this planet right now. I have private security because the white supremacist, racist narrative that they drive into this country, the fact that they don't care that this black woman that has put her life on the line, they can't match my energy, first of all. This black woman who puts her life on the line, they don't care that I could be taken out of here. They actually probably are okay with that. But this is the thing. I won't let them get that off.
Shannon, you know who else's lives matter are the little babies who across the country have been victims of these crime waves, like Sequoia Turner at a McDonald's or Nia Courtney more recently. These children's lives matters, and they depend on having police in their neighborhoods. This is just a totally blinded politician making a statement like this.
Yeah, and I think we all agree, and we know members of Congress are under all kinds of different threats, and we all agree that they should be protected 24/7. U.S. Capitol Police do a great job at that. If they feel they need private security as well, it's a luxury that most people don't have. The 51 people who were shot in Chicago last weekend, you look at a city like Detroit, which is not a conservative place. New polling there cited by USA Today shows that 9-1 the residents there say they would feel safer with more police. Now, some of them have complaints about police and how they enforce the law and what's gone on there. That's in the polling, too. But that is an overwhelming number of people who cannot afford private security to protect them and say, listen, in my community, I feel like it's the one way to keep me safe is that I rely on police. The more you take them out of these more embattled communities, you're saying that to people that live in the roughest, most dangerous places who would have the least amount of resources to do anything else security-wise are going to be the ones who are the most victimized by these policies.
That's right. They are the ones that suffer. And Tommy, everyone should take note. This is the new thought leader of the Democrat Party, Chuck Schumer, praising her over this evictions victory that'll probably be swiftly overturned in court. But this is their thought leader. And that was a pretty amazing clip and a hypocritical one at that.
She is certainly giving AOC a run for her money when it comes to that. Oh boy, the Democratic Party is in shambles. But I'll also say this. Let's think about this for a minute. The Democrats don't want you to have your Second Amendment rights. They don't want you to be able to own a firearm, or they want to tell you how many you can own. They want to tell you how much ammo you can have. So they don't want you to be able to protect and defend yourself, but then they also want to defund your police departments. But then they feel that they are entitled to have protection because they are just simply more important than the rest of us. But you notice Cori Bush and others, when they have this private security, this private detail, some of it taxpayer funded, you notice that they're not calling social workers or mental health experts alongside them to protect and defend their lives that are apparently more important than ours. They're having police officers and private trained security who are armed, by the way. That's who they want protecting and defending them, but they want to leave your streets, your curbs, your country lawless and unprotected. It just goes to show the priorities of Democrats are always Democrats.
That's right. And Emily, you know, Patricia and Mark McCloskey, of course, that couple that defended their home from the BLM protesters. Cori Bush also had some rather curious words for them after they had a legal victory. She said, Mark McCloskey, your, quote, day will come. That sounds like a threat to me.
Absolutely. Everything out of this person's mouth is abhorrent, Kaylee. The fact that she just said on air, suck it up because I've got work to do. You know who doesn't have any work to do because they're dead? Is all of those children being gunned down and murdered in an extinction. Children like Jaslyn Adams and Robert Barr and Savannah Quintero, they have no choice what to do with their future. So for her to sit there and say, you would rather me die because my body is worth being on this planet right now, so were theirs. So are the thousands of people that are being murdered on the streets in those communities that are being left behind because of their idealistic commitments to defending the police and leaving everyone else defenseless. This is horrible.
That's right. Yeah, and on Outnumbered, we say their names, Sequoia Turner, Nia Courtney, and we pray for their families. It's a tragedy, what we're seeing in this country.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.